Hello and welcome. Arithix here, and this week I am still waiting on a lot of orders. I have had quite a few come through, but unfortunately I haven't got any other ones that I needed to finish the road just yet. So instead, I've been trying to focus on getting them organized for when these pieces do arrive. So actually, I went out and bought something to help me with that, which is these drawers here. So I just got these at it's a shop in the UK called B&Q. It'd be um, I don't know what the American equivalent would be. It's just, like a hardware shop, sells like materials, building things, power tools, that kind of thing. And these would usually be for screws. So, I've used these to organize my one by ones because they are just sort of everywhere and I needed a place for them. So on this top row, we've got, I've split them into neutral, color, and what I'm calling earth, which is like your, nougat, your, orangey earth colors, and gold, just because gold sort of fits with all these colors. If you can sort of see the gold in there, it doesn't really stand out too much. And then we've got our translucent pieces, and then our one by one studs with a hole in it. And then, on the next one, we've got one by one square tiles, same thing, different colors, translucent. But then on the end here, I've got flowers, and we've got square tile, color square tile, translucent square tile, printed tiles. So, just anything with printed pieces on it that is a one by one. And this one is just misc studs. There's only two things in there that might end up being reallocated. You've got wedges, more wedges, 1x2 wedges, wedges with a grill. I mean, this isn't all of them. I made a start on organizing some things, but I didn't get very far. And at the bottom here, we've got hooks and different things. And they do, like these little labels, they come out very easily. I just cut up some card, wrote on it, and then they just slot in there. So if I do want to change them around, it's very easy to do so. And there's a lot more one by ones that need sorting, but it is the bane of my Lego life that is organizing and getting parts sorted and put in places where they're easy to access. I mean, when I was growing up building, I never sorted my Lego. I always tended to just dig in a Lego box and start building. I've built a lot of cool things in the past where I've just had like a limited selection of parts. Like when I was at university, my friend donated me all his microfighters. But I'm not really a big fan of microfighters outside of getting the minifigure that comes with them. So I rebuilt it into a speeder. Like I combined like two different microfighters, Star Wars microfighters, into a speeder. When I worked at the Lego store, someone, I just said you can just go and take parts from the little table, a little build table in there, take it to the front when you're on the greet, and just build while you're standing there at the front. And I built, again, a speeder. I tend to just build spaceships and speeders by default, but you just give me a limited number of pieces. I mean, I did it with the Nexo Knights castle, where I started with the Fortrex, and then I just used those pieces to build up a certain amount. The difference, though, is that because I spent a lot of like the early part of this year before I started this channel, organizing Lego as much as I could. So, I've got all of these different tubs here with different things. They've got, there's a big box of plate down there. There's 2x brick and a big box there. What that's meant is that while building that, there were several times where I needed to problem solve something that I didn't have a piece for from the set. So I would go over to my parts inventories and I would know where to go. And that was a big advantage. So I am trying to transition more into the organized style. It doesn't mean that I won't occasionally build a set and just build something out of it that's not the set. I remember when I was a kid, I don't know how many of you would have had the same thing. That a lot of the sets when I grew up would have alternate builds, sometimes often on the back of the box. There would be like an alternate build of like the old X-wing. Obviously that's meant to be an X-wing, but they would give you an alternate build, and I've done that a lot of that in the past. Before starting this channel, so that's my building experience. But yep, trying to get a little bit more organized in here as more and more parts show up. I'm going to probably need more of these. Some with probably bigger drawers, like where two of them are combined into one. You can get different sizes, and that will probably eventually run across the whole back of this table. But yeah, that's what I've got so far, and we'll see what else comes this week. Right, so since I've been waiting for parts to arrive, I decided what can I actually, maybe plan out or start working on. And I mentioned in previous videos that I wanted to set up a basketball court here because it's right next to my workspace, so I can, just play a little bit of basketball whenever I want to, just by turning to my right. So I've set out a little layout of what I think it could look like when I build it. I'm going to use this sort of sand green color just because there isn't a gray, and this is the closest to like a street color, if you will. Because this is sort of like it's meant to be like if you've seen like an American movie, like one of the big cities like New York, and they just randomly have these basketball courts with the big fences. That's what I was hoping to make this one look like. So I've started off by just planning out a basic layout so I know what ones of these big pieces I need to order. And so this is the layout I've gone with. It's enough for 8 players, so 4 on each side, not quite 5 aside. We did, I remember playing basketball 5 aside, in school, but we don't have quite enough for that. The baskets would go here and here in the middle. And then this sort of gap between here would be filled with sand green 2x4 tiles to really give that square. Then there'll be maybe a white tiled edge, and then cheese wedges that go all the way along so that the ball rolls back down. And then the last 2 studs going all the way around will be the fence itself. And I'm going to try and figure out how to make that modular because the building on the other side of the basketball court isn't always guaranteed to be the same. So where the door needs to be, like where the alleyway that goes to the street is, might change. So it might be handy to get a modular system to, or at least make it easy for myself if I need to change where the door is. I also need to get more of these because the springs in mine are not great. So they don't actually throw very high or far. The springs are very old, and you can see sort of leaning forward there. Not the best legs. This one also, I think these ones were worse when I tested them. That's why they're here. But I'm going to need to buy some of those so that I can have a nice, bouncy legs for my basketball players. But there you go. That's the start of the layout. I know it's not that pretty to look at, but you can sort of get the idea of the kind of thing that I'm going to put in this space. All right, and let's see what else we can get done. Just a really quick one as well. I did also get the Blacktron Mutant, which was missing from a previous order, but the seller has resent it to me, and now I have it. Hoping to put that in a Blacktron mock, perhaps in a science lab where he's had a bit of an accident and things have gone wrong and he's come out of it and there's a big security breach. But yep, got him, happy, and yeah, let's move on. So one of the things that I was able to do this week with some of the pieces that have arrived is I built 2 custom minifigures. I don't know if you can guess who either of these are meant to be just by looking at them. But if I'll start with this one. So this is supposed to be, if any of you have played Metal Gear Solid, is a representation of Solid Snake from the earlier games, when he's a bit younger rather than like Metal Gear Solid 4. I saw this headpiece with the headband, which is from Jay in Ninjago, and I just thought that it worked really well. So then I started looking for other things. I found someone had already built a mock and they'd used this body combination. It's from a Ninjago movie minifigure. It's like a sand bluey color, which is pretty similar to what Solid Snake wears. The only thing I changed the head to something a bit more serious, less smiley, bit rough. But that's going to be my Solid Snake. And then this is the character that if many of you might not actually know this, but if you've heard of Solid Snake, you might not know that he was somewhat based loosely, at least in name, on a character called Snake Plissken, who was the main character of a movie by John Carpenter called Escape from New York, which is an awesome cyberpunk movie. It's my favorite movie of all time. My dad clued me into it. He was actually the one that told me that fact, and then when I watched the movie, and I just absolutely loved it. So this is my Snake Plissken. He's got the eye patch, sleeveless vest. It's not perfect. It's not quite as accurate as I think the Solid Snake turned out, but I'm sure I can keep looking for other parts to replace certain things. It's just the leg and the torso. I'm really happy with the hair and the face. But the torso and the legs, I think, could be a little bit more accurate. But I think it does a good job of representing the character as a whole. But yeah, there you go. Two snakes. Um, yeah, I hope you like these guys, and we'll see what else we can get done this week. So the week keeps moving on, and more orders are arriving. I got these minifigures today. So I ordered one of the pieces that I ordered had to come from Italy, but it was just one piece, so I had to add some things to meet the minimum payment, and then I ordered a couple extra on top, just to make it worth the expensive delivery of sending it internationally. So starting on the left, I got these two Black Falcon minifigures, one with grey legs, one with black. Just like Blacktron are to the space theme, the Black Falcons are Bob's main force within the castle theme. So Bob used to, a bit like Blacktron, he is the CEO of Blacktron. He used to be the king of Bob. He used to be King Bob of the Black Falcons. But because of some complications, which I won't go into too much detail here because it's quite long, he sort of ceded control because he didn't want to be publicly in charge of the Black Falcons anymore. So he put a man named King Kyle in charge of the Black Falcons, and they are his sort of main operating force within the castle theme. So if he needs something done, they're going to be the people, and they are a very powerful faction. They're quite old. They've built up a lot of resources, and Bob has pumped his resources into the Black Falcons so that they can be as strong as they are. Moving on, we have a Dr. Cyber. My one is a bit yellowed, quite heavily discolored. So when I saw that this seller had one that was in good condition, I thought I'd pick him up, get a nice new white one. Well, not new, but a nice clean white one. Then we have from the Exo Force, we have Takeshi with the green hair and his gold armor. I don't know what's happened to all of the rubber hair and different pieces of the Exo Force people minifigures that I used to have when I was younger. So I thought I'll pick this one up, seeing as he's in the shop. I always liked Takeshi because green is my favorite color. So guy with green spiky anime hair, sign me up. And then last but not least, we have Klaus, and can't remember what this guy's name is off the top of my head. Another one of the Cult of the Snake, working with Klaus and Chen. Just because I already have two minifigures, I have Chen and just a standard soldier dude. So I thought, I'll expand that collection to have a few more bad guys in it. But yeah, that's the minifigures I received. I still have 3 orders left to come. One of them is a single minifigure. The other 2 are parts. The problem is those parts are split across like 3 different things. So it's hard to finish or start these things until all of the pieces are here. Like one order has my candlesticks in it for my trees. And they also have, the remaining pieces for the road, or pieces for one of the cars, piece for the modular building that I'm going to be doing. Yeah, so lots and lots of pieces that need to get here, but just those 2 orders are really holding me up. So that's why there's so much of just, hey, look at these minifigures I got, and look at these minifigures that I built. The ones previous Snake and Snake, Solid Snake and Snake Plissken. But yeah, let's hope they've still got a little bit more time that I can at least get like the roads and maybe the trees done this week, in time for the video. So yeah, let's see what else we can get done. Well, what a difference some street lamps and some trees make, eh? So now this road goes all the way down to the back there and meets up with the other road. Unfortunately, I did not order enough 2x4 dark bluish grey tiles. So the connecting parts of the road are not quite done. But I finally got the candlesticks to make my trees. So there we go. This is the sort of more cherry blossom design of trees, and what I've done is I've alternated it as you go down the road. which I actually think looks really nice. I mean, especially from this angle down here, you know, just looking down the road like that. I absolutely love just looking through the Nexo gate at the city behind it. It's just absolutely love it. It's really starting to come together now. You know, we're starting to take up most of this table. I'm starting to think about more tables, honestly, just to give myself a bit of breathing room. We're gonna keep building more buildings for this area. I finally got all of my orders, but they've all come in a bit too late for me to get anything done now. This video has to go out pretty soon, so I need to get editing really. So this is about as far as I've managed to get with all of this. But now the road is complete. We've got street lamps, trees, road, cars. So I've got an extra taxi. There's a car there which will be featured in another video. Just the parts arrived before everything else did. You know, we've got Aaron about to mow down some little lava monsters in his bike. And you know, we populated the streets with some minifigures as well. So we've still got our monsters attacking, but I've moved them sort of over to the right here because now we've got a full road. Ghost Rider's car is now in there. And should we go up the road a little bit? So right here we have two, this angle might be better, two Black Falcon soldiers walking down the road having a chat about something. But just across the road over here is Zed from Alpha Team, who is tailing them to see what they're up to. Like, while the others are watching Blacktron over there, we have another member of the Alpha Team keeping an eye on the Black Falcons. I also added Snake Plissken. He's over here walking down the street with his badass gun. We have one of the I want to say Serpentine, but I think that might be wrong. I'm just drawing a blank on the name of the snake people. But yeah, I've got one of those in the city. Just a couple of normal minifigures walking down the road. We've set back up the rock monster fighting the construction workers and one of the rock raiders. I added the minifigures sort of futuristic sci-fi hero girl. Has seen what's going on as she's running in. And over here, I can get my camera in there, we added our little alien tourist who's taken a photo of the rock monster. He came here for Earth tourism, and that's not usually the thing you expect to see when you come to Earth. So he had to take a picture of it. And then we put Takeshi in the back as well, and just another minifigure there. One of the old race, I think it's the stunt rally guys in there. And yeah, street is looking very, very nice. Happy to add all of these minifigures in there. Happy to just finally have another road finished, and just looking down this angle. Never gets old for me. I absolutely just can't get enough of it. But that'll about do it for this week. So now that all the parts are here and I'm off next week, I should be able to get quite a lot done. My last day of work was today of my previous job, and as a goodbye present they gave me a Lego gift card, so I will be able to get a little bit more. It's not like going to be like anything major. It's not a massive gift card, but it was a very nice gesture and I really appreciate it. They did know me pretty well in that job. I was there for about a year, but now it's a week off and then back to work, so I've got to try and get as much done in this week off as I can. And that's what I'm going to do. We've got a modular building, I think, is what I'm going to focus on for next week's video, but we can also probably try and get some more of this Nexo gate. You can see I've actually started building more of it. I've started duplicating the other side, but haven't got around to carrying on with that. And we've got one more car to build as well, mock car. Sorry, it's a rebrickable model car. But it's fully custom design. It's not it's just on rebrickable. But yeah, so that'll about do it. And I will catch you guys next week. But for now, stay cool, keep building, and I'll see you next time.